Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant, and welcome back to the channel. The brand new Ultimate Succession promo drops today in FC 25, and let's be honest, there's no way it can be as hype as Black Friday and Thunderstruck just was for the last week on this game, but EA know that. So what are they going to do? That's the question. What is EA going to do differently with this brand new promo to keep the hype going on this game, or at least keep things interesting? They're going to have to do something different, and I'm curious, and I'm here to see what they do today. We do have some leaks about some of these cards, official stats, some pretty big boosts, at least for one of the key players in this promo, but we also have heroes and icons that we don't have a lot of leaks for. So we're going to look at that, other SBCs that are incoming. We have new leaks of hero player SBCs to come and some others. And then also I have a thought on evolutions as to how EA might make things interesting with the new update that they've just dropped recently. And of course, we got to talk about the market, because Thunderstruck cards might be the main part of the market that we are watching today as some of these guys play, like Reinders and Milan play for upgrades. Other cards might finally be receiving their upgrades, and especially in a really weird stage of the market, heading out of Thunderstruck and into December. What is the market going to be doing today, guys? We're going to talk about it all. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Now, to close out the last final day of Thunderstruck Black Friday, we're going to roll through the content from yesterday on Thursday really quick. Once again, guys, it was the final day of the daily play. All this Black Friday Thunderstruck content is going to be going away. The daily play games, I can't believe I actually completed this 5 games a day for a whole darn week. We actually went and did it. Now, also on Thursday yesterday, we did have more objective content in the name of SP, the weekly objectives refreshed, the seasonal objectives up here, these refreshed, so you have a decent amount of XP available right there. But also inside the Ultimate Team objectives, you have got a new friendly mode objective. It's the same friendly mode as we had already with Argentina times Italy. We have France times England, which gives you a solid 4,000 SP. Very worth doing. A lot of people are now getting to level 20 now or above in the season pass. And check your club, because you might have a random player like Pope who is selling for 3,000 coins and went up a lot in value yesterday, from 2K to basically 4,000 coins he just was a little bit ago, because of the England and the France requirements inside of this objective. People are building out cheap teams with some of those budget players to get this done. So make sure you check your clubs, or maybe get that objective done. It is gold and gold most of the time, but not all the time in that mode. Also yesterday, we had a kit that you can buy in the store for 45,000 coins. It's a decent looking kit. It is a New Balance and Endrick little activation here, and there is SP involved in that as well, so I wanted to shout that out, because that is there if you're really trying to grind for the SP. Now, the other piece of content that we had was a player SBC, Moise Kean Player of the Month. And actually, now I'm looking at Footbin, this card is upvoted more than it's downvoted. Cold Dynamic, obviously. Trivella Plus is a really interesting playstyle plus. He's got Rapid, he's got Power Shot, and Poacher Plus Plus. So there are some things to like about this card, and it's Moise Kean. But I'll be honest, I would rather use Player of the Month Thuram above this. 83 and 85 rated squad, so it is very cheap. It's only 56,000 coins. 3-star skills for me. The current stage of where my team is at, maybe you're just doing this for a fun card to collect, or maybe for a future Evo. It's out for 41 days. That is a very long time, but that's kind of the SBC content that we had yesterday. Pretty cheap to get done. If you want to do that, go ahead and get it done. We had marquee matchups yesterday as well. Nothing super crazy to talk about there, and that is just a few tradable packs. Now, probably the biggest piece of content information that we had yesterday was packs added to the code about the icon pack compensation. If you know what I'm talking about, there was an icon pack last week in the store that was incorrectly worded, and it said it was giving out 91 plus icons, when of course the 425k pack in the store is under 91 icons, so 91 and below. It was worded incorrectly. I'm sure you saw all the tweets. We talked about it on the videos. The pack for compensation has been added to the code, but as of right now, I do not believe anybody has seen this pack dropped in their account yet. Of course, those that opened the pack in Spanish, in Espanol, to get the compensation for this. So the pack's in the code. It's a pretty crazy pack. Of course, you guys knew when you were opening this, if you did it, what you were potentially getting yourself into in terms of compensation. There are not very many 91 plus icons. I do believe this would drop as a part of sometime today, sometime this weekend. Since the pack's in the code, it could start coming out anytime. That is one thing I wanted to talk about, and it could hurt the market a little bit. Let's think about it, right? I know not everybody opened a 425,000 coin pack, but a lot of people definitely did. And the fact that so many people today are going to be getting 91 plus icons in that pack. Sure, it's going to be a lot of Prince, it's going to be a lot of Van Basten, but just think about it. If somebody packs a good icon like Puskás or Henry or Maldini, they might go and sell somebody who's in their team to replace that player with the new icon that they pack. So it actually could impact the market a bit whenever this compensation comes out in a negative way, I would honestly say, because icons, you don't need links to them. You just throw them in the team, maybe change your formation to fit the position for some of them, but they're just straight into your team, right? So that is one thing I wanted to mention. There's no guarantee on that, but it could actually make some prices move on the market. That was probably the biggest news from yesterday on Thursday. Also, again, we have to wave goodbye to all the good Thunderstruck SBCs. The 82 times 14, we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you really dearly because that was the SBC that really held this section of the game together. It was the SBC that we used to craft everything. The upgrade packs were decent as well. Last chance to do some of these. The daily login, of course. The daily golds are still going to be there. 81 doubles going away. I do believe today the base hero pick is going to refresh. It didn't refresh yesterday. That might refresh again today. So if you want to do that, that's there. But really, we're kind of starting fresh. Like a lot of stuff is expiring because Thunderstruck had a lot of content. And of course, following that today is Ultimate Succession, which we learned a little bit about. Like we mentioned yesterday, the loading screen now shows that's definitely Ronaldinho with a small +1 in the pace and the dribbling categories and the overall on his card. But we haven't seen a ton of leaks for specifically the icons and the heroes. Now, getting into the cards that we're expecting to see today, guys, this is a full list of players that we are expecting in Ultimate Succession. Most of these, once again, are, of course, actual players. We've got Messi and Lamine Yamal. Those are probably the biggest players named so far. We've got Kobel and Schlotterbeck, Kimmich and Palhinha from Bayern, Lay Sommer and Basha. That could be a really nice card. Berkey and Akanji, Thuram, who we've seen leaked already, Marquinhos, and then Tonali and Jorginho. So there are some interesting cards that have been leaked 100%. And actually, just recently, we had official stats leaked for Lamine Yamal. I would imagine that based off this tweet from ASY, he's got like the leaked stats for the whole entire team. So some of you guys might be watching this video. Go to check his Twitter account out because he's saying that he's going to be posting more of these for the official stats. But right away, you look at this promo team, you think, okay, maybe those names aren't that crazy. Maybe this could be interesting with kind of how they're coordinated with, like, a lot of these players are from the same club. Kimmich, Palhinha, Berkey, Akanji. You have the Swiss links there. Kobel and Schlotterbeck. You've got, of course, Dortmund. Lay Sommer and Basho. You've got the Lyon. Tonali and Jorginho. They're both Italian, both in the Premier League. Really interesting, right? And then you look at Lamine Yamal, the stats of these. This is his official card right here, guys. Trivela plus, 91 pace, 91 dribble, 87 shooting, and 88 passing. 65 physical as well is actually a big boost. This is his Player of the Month card, which is one of the highest rated versions you could have of him unless you've been evolving the inform. He's got 88 pace, 55 physical, and 88 dribbling. So it's +3 pace and dribbling, and then like +4s and 5s in the shooting and passing category with a really meta playstyle plus. He actually was shouted or noticed tweeting out or posting on Instagram that he scored a Trivela, and he was like, yo, it just pressed L2, right? You guys maybe saw that meme or that post. I guess it's not a meme, but it was him saying it going around on X, Twitter, Instagram the last couple of days. So that's definitely one of the headline cards. And with an upgrade that big, that catches my attention. Are all the cards going to be upgraded this big inside of this promo? I wouldn't expect that because he's definitely one of the headliner cards. But that is really, really interesting. And as we take a look at the rest of the players in this team, there's potential. This is not an official card, by the way, like that Lamine Yamal was, but a Tonali, that's a card. This is his gold card, right? That somebody or a lot of people used at the beginning of the year a lot of the time. Tonali was one of the most used CDMs in the early stages of the year. Basha, we know about the legendary status of her in this game. Her card last year came out, I think, around this time, maybe a little bit before now. That was a crazy card. You've got Joshua Kimmich as well with Palhinha. These are some Bayern links that would slot straight in if you're still using Matisse Tell, maybe Sasha Bowie, maybe the new Elise card that dropped during Thunderstruck. I mean, there's potential with this promo. There is. But at the same time, we got to see more actual juice on the stats, and I got to see more information. And still, where are the heroes? Where are the icons? If we have Ronaldinho, who is one of the only icons that is leaked right now, we got to see some more information, especially for the heroes. Do we have a single hero that is leaked at the moment? I don't know if I've seen one out of the list that we just looked at and the cards that we just talked about. The only icon that I've seen leaked right now is Foot Police yesterday tweeted Steven Gerrard and James Milner are set to come to Ultimate Team soon. And it's really interesting that he's the one tweeting this with only these two cards. And then ASY and Foot Sheriff are not tweeting about Milner and Steven Gerrard. So that's really interesting to me. So we still have a lot of questions exactly how this promo is going to work out. But I can tell you guys this. This is pretty much going to be certain for today, guys. The Thunderstrucks last week, if you guys remember seeing them on the market, they got supplied on the market a lot. Remember, we had crazy fluctuations because there were so many packs that were open and EA were running so many lightning rounds. Today, it's going to be the exact opposite. There is not going to be very many saved up packs. I'm not going to save any packs for the new promo today. I'd rather open with everything in packs up until 6 p.m. content. So these cards might be very expensive and they might be very rare on the market once they drop in packs today, just because where's the supply going to be coming from? So that's my thought for today is I want to see how much the cards are boosted stat-wise. That'll really give us a gauge on the hype and, of course, the pack weight. But you know how pack weight goes, right? The lower tier promo cards, the lower rated ones are going to be packable. The higher tier ones are going to be a lot harder to pack. So the only other thing that I would mention is maybe there's some players sneaking in this promo team that haven't been leaked yet that are maybe a part of the new update, right? The first Frost update brought players like De Gea, Alexis Sanchez, Marco Reus back into the game. Maybe these guys are going to be somehow involved in a piece of content this weekend since we're just freshly into that first Frost update. So really curious to see how the promo packs and promo cards look today. Now, the SBCs, right? We look to a promo Friday and it's not always all about the cards that are in packs because they seem so unobtainable these days, right? It's about the SBCs and it's about the Evos. Now, this Buffon SBC is leaked to be later on this weekend. I don't believe it's coming today, but we don't have that many leaked SBCs at the moment. Usually on a promo Friday, we have a player from the promo team that is coming as an SBC. And right now, the leaks that we have, at least as of right now, is this Buffon card, which is not going to be until Sunday. We have a brand new leak for Carragher, which is really interesting because he just got a brand new upgraded card. He's a new icon, or a new hero, of course, this year, and he just got a prime hero, an 88 rated boost with 80 pace. He's got block plus on that prime hero card that he's leaving packs today, but he's getting an on this day hero SBC soon. Stats are predicted for him. Allegedly, this is going to come out sometime this weekend as well. Don't know what the date is, right? Of course, this leak tells us that this is on Sunday for Buffon because it was December 8th. Buffon kept a clean sheet against Messi. For this Carragher card, we're not exactly sure, but this is another card like, you know, Premier League center backs. If this is an 80 pace center back that is really affordable and really cheap, it actually could impact the market a bit and you could see some prices drop, maybe on some of those like Gold Saliba type cards. You know, Gold Saliba probably would still be better than that card, but you give people an alternate option for heroes with the links. That might be an SBC if it's cheap enough and it has good enough stats that could move some things. I can't imagine this is going to be that expensive though, or maybe even better to say that good of value because all of his hero cards are pretty affordable. So watch out for that SBC. And the other SBC we have leaked right now looks completely out of sorts for whatever, you know, Ultimate Succession promo we're heading into. Globetrotters. This is a card design that's been added to the code as well. And I'm going to check right now and see if it's actually in game, but Tagliafico has been added to come as a Globetrotters SBC / objective. And as I check under G in the card search, there's no Globetrotters, but they, of course, do have the Ultimate Succession cards that are in here already. So I don't expect this to be today, but I wanted to point that out to you guys because it sounds like there's maybe some Argentinian links in the grapevine here for some cards that could be moving. Of course, Argentina is one of the featured or the featured nation inside of the season. For this season, of course, we had the Avila World Tour card. I think we're going to have some more Argentinian linking opportunities soon with SBCs and objectives. So for SBCs, it's kind of, we don't really know. We're going to watch for more leaks today and see what actually gets dropped because I'm really curious. Now for Evos, this is where I have a little bit of a guess because, right, we just got this new first Frost update, like a title update, right? But it was more so for the menus and changed a lot of things, but they added in those new roles, right? Center attacking mid, classic 10, and center defensive mid, wide half. And as you take a look at basically every center attacking mid in the game right now, you can see they have classic 10 on the card, but nobody has classic 10 plus. And I believe EA is going to want to try to release some content to promote that new role that they have added and maybe some of the new focuses as well. So I would not be very surprised if they dropped an Evo this weekend for a Classic 10 or a wide half, because those are the new pieces of content that we just got. I wouldn't be surprised if they dropped something that was like, yo, put your center attacking mid into this and build out a Classic 10 type of situation. So we don't have any Evo leaks at the moment, but that's just something to watch out for. Maybe a Cam Evo, maybe a CDM Evo for the wide half. Of course, we've had some great Evos recently. We're kind of riding on that high expectation of those flash Evos. I mean, we've had decent Evo content even apart from those, to be honest. And there are a couple that are expiring today. Central Pillar is going to be expiring, I guess, today. That's the only one. And then Pitch Predator that gives Power Shot Plus is going to expire tomorrow. So maybe get to checking on those Evos, but hopefully there's something today that's nice that gives us a little bit more juice there. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is we've been having more weekend league objectives recently. I think the one that still comes to mind is the Joao Felix and the Richarlison. Will EA continue that trend? I know that, last Friday was Black Friday. I guess we had the weekend league objective technically 2 weeks ago because it was the week before Black Friday as well. And Thunderstruck, maybe there's another one of those coming this weekend too. That's just a shout for, again, guys, I'm thinking through all of this. How is EA going to make Ultimate Succession interesting? How are they going to make it different? What are they going to do to keep us excited and wanting to try these new cards and upgrading our teams? What else is going to drop today that's cool after a really insane week that we've just had? That's the kind of question I have. But again, EA's thinking that same thing, so they're going to try to, I would hope, at least keep things interesting on the game today as well. So content's really a big question mark for today, guys, which makes me kind of think like that is going to impact the market too. I'm really curious on how the market's going to be impacted today. Of course, these Thunderstruck cards, who I've even invested in a few of. I bought a Vieira yesterday. I have some Reinders because AC Milan played today, and he has potential to win and get an upgrade. Now, they'd have to score 3, and they're playing Atalanta. But at the same time, I'm looking at these cards. A lot of them aren't really going up, and I would expect them to. Yesterday with Division Rivals rewards, we had a big drop-off. As expected, these cards got supplied. He went from 300K down to 270. I bought a couple right here. He went back up to 290, and he was even just 260 a little bit ago. And as you take a look across the rest of the team of these cards, very few of them are like up big. A lot of them are still pretty low. Saliba's 1.77, especially for Saliba and for Akunde, who right now we're awaiting the first official Thunderstruck upgrades on. Hopefully those are coming today, but they have not dropped yet. I'm really curious to see today how these cards react, because last year, the reason why I'm so curious and interested in how these Thunderstruck and Thunderstruck icons move is because last year, with the upgrades that these cards were chasing, these cards exploded, right? You see, during last year of Thunderstruck, Black Friday, this Ansu Fati, as he went out of packs, which was right here, he was 360,000 coins, rose up to 490K in the next week because he obtained his upgrades, and Brighton got the wins, and boom, he gets upgraded here, and then he drops off afterwards, of course. And as we normally see, a big market drop in December, but these cards had so much hype because of the upgrades. Now, once again, this year, as we've mentioned, the upgrades aren't as good, but they're still live cards, and I think a lot of people are looking at these Thunderstrucks as cards that they are wanting to invest in and wanting to try. They're still pushing the power curve as some of the best cards in this game at the moment. I still think they have hype, but I'm also, that's the positive thinking side of me, right? I think if today's content isn't that great, I want to watch these cards because I think there could be some price movements in a positive direction. I really want to watch Thunderstrucks today, guys. If there's panic selling at all before content for any reason, especially if it's like because people think there's good content coming, maybe a leak or something like that, I would definitely want to watch the hype Thunderstruck cards that are close to their upgrades, because that could be a really good place to make coins this weekend and a really safe place to maybe try a card too if you think it's going to be going up because of that upgrade potential. But at the same time, like I mentioned, I'm hesitant about this market too because we know where we're getting into in this time of the year. We're getting into the post-Black Friday, getting into December, where the market usually drops every single year. Like clockwork, man. It really does. And it might be this weekend. It might not be. It might not happen even tonight on Friday night because Friday nights are usually really good for the market. Maybe it's next week. We don't really know yet, guys. But with these movements on these cards, like I showed you the Reinders graph, like there could be some potential that some of these Thunderstruck cards are over-invested in and their prices are staying still a little bit inflated. Because I'll be honest, some of these seem expensive. Gyökeres, how is Gyökeres still 700,000 coins when Sporting lost yesterday? They're 2 games in, only 1 goal scored and no wins. That's crazy to me. Sure, I know they're expected to get all the upgrades, but every time you lose a game, technically you would lose a little bit of the hype because people are expecting the upgrades here pretty soon. I do think that some of these cards may be a little artificially inflated. I could see it going both ways today, guys. I could see these Thunderstrucks going down before content and maybe even after content a little bit, or I could see them just going up if today's content isn't that good. So I really think it relies on the content that we've had. And if you remember how prices have moved this year when we have had bad content days. Think about it. We've had this during Trailblazers. It was like, oh, the content's coming, new promo Friday, we're excited. And then the stuff comes out and it's not that good. And what do you see? You see promo cards from other previous promo teams or the one that just went out of packs soar in price as people are like, nah, this new stuff ain't it. I'm going to go back and buy the old stuff. So that is one thing that I would really watch for today with the Thunderstruck cards. That's why I'm at least very interested in them to a degree, is because that sort of situation could be happening on the market. But then again, if the new stuff is decent, some of those cards could drop. If they're overinvested and there's not enough actual demand to keep those cards inflated, you see the situation that's a little bit sketchy right now. So I don't think you have to be too worried about a ton of cards on the market. I don't think the drops would be drastic. I think the drops, if there are panic selling places on the market, the drops would probably be the greatest on some of those Thunderstruck cards that people are investing in. But again, they're live, so they could bounce back too. Now, one part of the market that I do think it is very safe to get out of, and probably a very smart time if you're thinking long term to get out of these cards, are gold cards that have been out of packs, especially a guy like Mbappe. Mbappe was 2 million coins, under 2.1 at his lowest during Black Friday. He's almost 2.6. So look at the state of that. But Mbappe's coming back into packs today. Same thing with a card like Graham Hansen, who was 260,000 coins just a couple days ago. Patrick Guijarro comes out. These Barca links are going to the absolute freaking moon. She was even like 240, I think, at her absolute lowest. I think this is a card as it comes back into packs today. It's going to get supplied a little bit. I think you would want to be on the careful side of things and try to sell these cards from your team. You don't have to be worried about selling them at the absolute peak price, because if you bought Hansen for like under 250K, especially under 280, I think you're chilling. I don't think she's going to go under 280 today, but could I see this card being like 315 after the weekend's over? Absolutely, because they're coming back into packs, and we've had a lot of these cards that are still out of packs. VVD is probably not a good example because he's going to continue to be out of packs, but a guy like Mbappe, he's coming back into packs today, so you just want to be careful with this card, knowing that this might be more so towards the peak as we head out of Black Friday into the month of December. So that's kind of the situation in the market I want to talk about there. I don't know. I might risk it a little bit today with my coins. I've made some investments. Vieira is going to get upgraded. I still have this card I bought for 3.2 mil. I was hoping to sell him for like 3.6. He hasn't really rebounded there yet. He's right around 3.4. So I'm like breaking even after tax. The Reinders I bought at 270. Of course, you see here 274K. That's kind of his current price. I could see this guy being like 250 today. I could see him being 300 because they play. It's really just, it feels like it's a 50-50 shot. So we'll see how it goes today. We'll try to make some moves. But one thing I want to look at too is if you're like not sure what to do with your coins at the moment, anything or everything on a promo Friday is about the packs for a lot of people, right? And there's always fodder that's going to be in demand for SBCs. And when people need fodder but don't want to go and spend the time to bid on it, guys, you can make a ton of coins each and every Friday. I talk about this, not very many people do it, but if you want to sit down and just bid on these fodder cards during and around an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours after the content drop, you can probably win 88s on bid. Like if they're selling for 17 or 16K, let's say they drop a little bit today, they're selling for 16K instantly on the market, you might be able to win them for 14K. Like clockwork. And then you're just consistently flipping these cards and selling them, and it's going to add up over time. And you know, when you're making profits, it's fun. You want to keep doing it. 85s all the way up to 89s for that could be really, really good. I'm still, look at this, 38K for Rodri. I'm still holding on to all of my high tier fodder. I do believe that can continue to go up, but of course that also does depend on what SBC player that we get today. So market's in a really weird spot. We'll get a very good sense of where it could be going today. So if you want to check us out there and you're really worried about price on the market, make sure to watch the stream today or on the content drop. We'll be reacting to everything, seeing where the market goes, seeing what happens and how it moves from there. But again, I think it's really on EA today. EA, what are you going to do? What are you going to deliver to keep the hype kind of going after this crazy promo of Thunderstruck? Even if it's like a small thing that keeps us interested, like an Evo, or maybe it's some new objective. I don't know, something that's just like cool and good. It's got to keep us in here, man. I don't know if there's anything special about these cards. I don't know exactly. We still don't know a lot about this Ultimate Succession promo. So I'm very curious today. And I also think that however the promo kind of reacts and how we feel about it is going to 100% impact the market. So it's just kind of like, it's like a seesaw, 50-50, man. Could go this way, could go this way. So we're going to be breaking it down, of course, all day today on stream. If you want to check us out there, links down below in the description. And you maybe saw it on my team as I was showing, just finished one of the big boy SBCs, Johan Cruyff. We got him done. We got him in. He's cooking. If you want to see us grind with him yesterday, qualify for champs, and have some fun completing him, I'll link the second channel above. But have a great Friday, guys. I'll see you in the stream today. If you enjoyed this one, drop a thumbs up on it. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, it has been TheFutAccountant. Have a great Friday. Good luck with your foot champs. Peace.